I went to Mexico, Guadalajara. You get 3 things, you get 1 for free.
Hamburger, fries, nose job.
The day of the surgery, and I'm not joking about this, they both came in with like a really big block of ice. I was there probably an hour lying there with the ice.
That's an automatic burn after 15 minutes.
Dr. Ice was your anesthesiologist.
Dr. Ice was my anesthesiologist. I'm not kidding.
The problem with using ice as an anesthetic agent is that it kills the tissue before you operate on it. So he essentially was operating through dead skin.
I became a mother of 2 by the age of 19. One of our issues between father of my children and myself was my weight, how my abdominal area looked after the kids. So I got on every diet you can think of, and I lost 60 pounds. I think I was very much in love with him as opposed to him being in love with me. He wasn't one to settle down. Marriage was never brought up. So I got brokenhearted and I said, I'm gonna go reward myself with a tummy tuck. I didn't have very much money, so I decided to go over the border to Tijuana and do my surgery. After the surgery, I started noticing a lot of redness around the area. The incision came apart. There was a lot of discharge, a lot of pus, and it became a wound. I could fit maybe a baseball in my abdominal area. The one thing about an open infected wound is that it does smell like just dead.
As a child, I was always a happy person and everything. I have a very close family, and I thought I was normal. But in high school, I think it was sophomore year, I took a weight training class and I just developed a love for it. And it's kind of like a high. Like, I love to be in the gym. I love lifting weights. And that's when I started noticing that my right side was growing muscle and then my left side wasn't catching up at all. My mom had taken me to the doctor just to see exactly what was going on, and the doctor told me that I had Pullum syndrome. At that time, my aunt had mentioned that there was a doctor in Mexico. He had done work on another relative, breast implants, and she said he was a really great doctor, and then I was really anxious just to get it done, and it was gonna be like maybe half the cost. And once we got there, he said it'd be $3 grand and then everything would be good and whatnot. So I was just like, okay, let's do this. They started like putting some drugs in me and whatnot, and I instantly fell asleep. I woke up the next day, I believe, and I was just super sick. Like, there was this random nurse lady. She didn't speak English, so she was just holding a bucket in front of me. I'm just throwing up everywhere. That moment, I pretty much was like, okay, this is the end of the road for me. I can't believe I came to Mexico to die. But luckily, as soon as I saw my mom, I just rose from the dead like a zombie. I'm like, hey, we gotta get out of here. We have to leave. This is not good.
So you went with the idea of having your breasts done and a tummy tuck for stretch marks primarily.
Yes.
How did they put the implants in? I didn't see any incisions on your
No, he
breasts.
put the implants in through my abdomen.
He put the breast implants into
Yes.
your tummy. Placing implants through a tummy tuck incision, in my opinion, it's never a good idea because it's a long way to go and the chance of a complication is really high. How many hours of surgery did you have?
11 to 12 hours.
11 to 12 hours
Yes.
of anesthesia? Out?
Out.
Crystal's last surgery could have literally been her last surgery. 8 hours is the time when risks start to go up of anesthesia complications and difficulties from prolonged recovery.
So the next day, the nurse wakes me up and she says, shower time.
Showered you the next
They
day?
showered me the next day.
There you go.
In
There's one of the reasons why you have
cold
infection.
water.
Within 24 hours, they washed you off in fresh wounds.
Contaminated just automatically.
Wow. So you developed an infection.
Yes.
Infection, yeah.
But when you saw that pus, he didn't say anything about all that pus?
No, he said, make sure you take care of yourself because I don't want you to come back with an infection.
As you're sitting there
So
pussed
he's
out.
setting you up
Yes.
to blame you
Yes.
for not taking care of
Exactly.
yourself. I told you to take care of yourself, and that's why you got an infection, even though you already had an infection.
Yes.
Yes.
I transitioned to high school, and at graduating, and I told my sisters and my mother, I think it's time for me to get a nose job. So I went to Mexico, Guadalajara. It was like going to a fast food restaurant and you going on the menu board and picking what you want. They give you a list. You get 3 things, you get 1 for free.
Hamburger, fries, nose job.
You should not be ordering surgery off a menu. If you know you're doing something like that, you know you need to get up and you need to run out as fast as you're